Well, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of GPS for Your Business. Today's episode, we're going to talk about value proposition. And there's a lot of you listening that might not know exactly what that is, but we're going to make sure you understand it by the time you leave here. Our coach and host for today is Mike Nannini, and I am Dr. Randi Ross. Let me tell you a little bit about Mike in case you don't know him. Mike is an award-winning certified business coach. He is the owner of Focal Point Business Performance of Central New Jersey. He brings over 2 decades of executive management experience to the table, and he brings a really clear, very easy to understand approach that's founded in these focal point proven systems. Mike very strongly believes that systems run businesses and people should be running those systems. Well, hey, Mike, how are you doing today?
Hi, Randy. It's great to see you. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining our session.
All right. Well, Mike, we're going to jump right in here, and I want you to explain to me exactly what a value proposition is.
All right. Well, I'm going to do my best. I'm going to read you first a formal definition of what a value proposition is. And Randy, as you mentioned earlier in the intro, we really try to make it so that it's clear and easy for people to understand. So I'm going to read you the definition, and then I'm going to tell you in very easy terms what that actually means to you. So value proposition is a promise of value to be delivered and acknowledged, and a belief from the customer that value will be delivered and experienced. A value proposition can apply to an entire organization or parts thereof, or customer accounts, or products or services. Developing a value proposition is based on a review and analysis of the benefits, costs, and value that an organization can deliver to its customers, prospective customers, and other constituent groups within and outside the organization. So that was a bunch of really big academic words that many of you, including myself, if I had just heard that for the first time, might be thinking, well, okay, that sounds good, but what does that mean to me and to my business and what I do? So in simple terms, what it is who you are, what you do, and why you're different. It's no more than that.
Okay. That I like better than what you just read.
Me too.
And give us an idea. I know when you and I, and for total disclosure here, let me tell people that I actually work with Mike, which is why I'm so excited to be here, be producing this for him today, because there's so many people that can benefit, from what he has to share. But I know that I kind of struggled with understanding this. And the other thing is that because I don't think I'm unique, explain to people that this isn't a pitch. Remember, I kept using the word pitch, and even though you were on the phone and we weren't using video, I could tell you were getting annoyed that I kept using that word.
Yeah, it's because, pitch, we're not playing baseball, we're not playing horseshoes. So I don't like to use words like pitch. I just think it has a negative connotation to it, and I don't think it's the level of professionalism that you, Randy, are certainly trying to demonstrate when you meet someone, or that anyone else listening to this is either. So it's so important, because when you meet someone that for the first time, right, in a business setting, it may be somebody that walked into your store if you have a retail operation. It may be someone that you met at a networking event. It may be someone that called and asked some questions about your practice or the types of services that you delivered, whatever the case may be. When you meet someone in that setting, really a couple of things should start to happen. One is this someone that I can do business with, right? Second thing is this someone that I want to do business with, right? Because those are 2 very different things. Just because you can do business with someone doesn't mean that you want to. And as the more mature that your business becomes, the more you'll see those 2 things differentiate if you're not at that level already, right? We talk a lot about in our sessions, Randy, about your ideal client. If you could find your ideal clients, who are the types of people that you want? So once you have that and you've determined those things and you've said, yes, this is someone that I want to do business with, I'd like to have them as a patient, as a customer, or as a client, really the value proposition is what you explain to them as to what you do. and why they should do business with you. What are the services that you're bringing to the table? Again, who you are, what you do, and why you're different. The why you're different is often the thing that's missing the most. Why are you different than the chiropractor that's around the corner? Or why are you different than the bagel store that I can go to that's a half a mile away? What are the things that are separating you from the competition?
And I think that's so important. There's so many things there that I really think that you said that are just, they're so important and are probably missed on a lot of business people. I think, and it was something that else that really jumped out at what you said is, as you become mature in your business, I know the way that I ran my business going back to when I was in practice, when I first was in practice, was very different as it was 10 and 15 years into it. And this might sound a little, unusual, but there were patients that came your way that you knew just weren't the right fit for you. It's easier to maybe be selective when you're, what Mike does as a coach, or now what I do in marketing and production. I can decide that someone's really not going to be a good fit for me to work with. When you're a doctor, it's a little more difficult, but you actually get to a point where you understand, especially if you're a chiropractor, that there are certain people that come your way that just aren't going to be a good fit, and they're not going to get value out of that. So I think that's an important point to understand. No matter what business you're in, there is this selective process, because it's not just about who you want to do business with. You want that person to get a good experience and have good value out of the service they're looking for.
Absolutely. We each have a limited amount of time that we spend in our businesses. And at the end of the day, one of the things when we talk about sales effectiveness and how you can better communicate with people and build those relationships is, people want to do business with people that they like, people that they trust, and people that they think are going to deliver some value in exchange for the price that they're going to pay for whatever it is you're delivering. And as business owners, we need to think about it the same way. Are these people, is this someone that I like? Is this someone that I trust? And is this someone that's going to deliver some value in exchange for the time that I'm going to spend with them? And the value may mean different things to different clients. It may be money in the cash register. It may be relationships that you can leverage to help build your business through networking or what have you. But what's important is that you're thinking along those lines, and every client, patient, customer that you take on, you're comfortable with the fact that, hey, this is somebody that I really want to have in one of those limited slots of time that I can contribute to my business.
Yeah, and I just want to bring up one other point, Mike. I know that in certain industries, and maybe healthcare might be one of them, there are some rules and guidelines you have to follow as far as accepting and not accepting patients. So we understand that you don't have to send us a whole bunch of emails. Some of these things have to be tweaked that applied, to you. Mike, so is the easiest way to really get started with a value proposition is really just to start writing these things down, see what they look like on paper, and then kind of work your thoughts from there?
Yeah, this is definitely an iterative process. So you have to go through this and again, start with who we are, right? Who am I? What do I do? What do I stand for? What is it that I'm trying to accomplish in my business? And then from there, you add in, why am I different? And you write it down, you massage it, you get it to something that you're comfortable with. And really, this should be something that in its best form, you can say to someone in, call it 30 to 45 seconds, and they can come away with saying, gee, I really have a good understanding of what Mike does or what Randy does. And, that was a good conversation. So write it down, massage it, come up with different versions, try it. The key to anything that I talk about is one of the things that I focus on a lot with my clients is they have to be comfortable with what it is they're going to go out and say and what it is they're going to do and how they're going to run their business. So that's obviously a key part. Without that, this is really just a big waste of time, to be honest with you.
Yeah, this is probably one of those places that scripting isn't the optimum process. I'm sure you could tweak things to make them sound better. But you're right. It has to be something that flows and comes from your heart. And, for me, I think the biggest thing is often how you're different. And, to go back to healthcare providers, obviously, if someone's walking into your office, they're there because they know, or generally they think they know what the service is and they need that. But, it's, why are you different? Whatever it is, the service you provide, why you're different than the other, 50 people in a 20-mile radius. So I think that that's really important, and it has to be worked. I still work on this.
Yeah.
So
Look, and as you found, Randy, as you go out and you talk to people, you see what works, you see what resonates with people. Some things work with some folks, not with others. And it really gets back to continuing to think about the people want to do business with those that they like, that they trust, and that they feel like they're going to get some value from. So when you're thinking about this, I would really focus on they want to do business with people that they trust. And the quickest way to establish that trust is to have a real clear explanation that is honest and genuine about what you do and why they should do business with you.
All right. Well, we're gonna tie up this episode. Value proposition is actually a lead-in to our next episode. We thought that it was a little better to break it down and give it to you in a short, really concise manner. So as we move into our next episode, you'll find this information and understanding this really valuable. We also want to know if you go ahead and click on the link that's either appearing on your screen or below your screen, depending upon where you're watching this. Mike actually has an offer that he'd like to extend to you for a relatively quick assessment, take you anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes to fill out. And once you go ahead and submit that, he's going to respond to you with an evaluation and some suggestions on ways that you might want to take advantage of taking your business to the next step. Mike, any closing thoughts?
No, just thanks for taking the time out of your very busy days to listen to us. And please go ahead and fill out the assessment that Randy, you just mentioned, and look forward to speaking to you soon.
All right. Well, that concludes another episode of GPS for Your Business. Today, we taught you about your value proposition. I'm Dr. Randi Ross, and along with Coach Mike Nannini, we'll see you on the next episode.